St. Lucia, this is Openmike, and we're back to the fourth and final segment of our program. We have one very important piece of information to pass on to the St. Lucian public, and that is an observation made by Mr. Seon at St. Mary's College, and that is that parents lay a lot of emphasis on getting their children to get through the common entrance exam. We all know that they're beating the books, they're getting extra lessons, they're pushing them, they're taking that personal interest, but we want them to know one thing: when they have passed the common entrance, they have not graduated. That is when the work just starts.
Yes.
And what Mr. Seon is finding out, that a good 40 to 50% of those students, when they reach, they either burnt out or they relaxed.
Yeah.
You need to watch and pass that information to your children, observe your children very carefully in the first couple of years to ensure that the enthusiasm which they were able to draw from that common income continues, because they have 4 years to finish their secondary education, and that's important. And at that point, I let Mr. Rowan, Mr. Seon deal with that.
Yeah, that's right, and you put it very well, because that's exactly what the problem is. Once these students have completed the preparation, the priming, and the lessons, and the extra lessons, and the extra lessons they take Saturday and Sunday for common entrance, and they score the 88% and the 91%, the 93%. They come into the college. Parents, well, of course, first they have their little party around now. So this is the common entrance party. So yeah, you passed the college, you did well. Very good, we're happy you did. But that is not the end of the road. We don't send them to the college and then they come to the first day with a bright new uniform and thing, and you let them go and lime after that. They have to continue the momentum that they built up, at least to a point. Otherwise, they're going to soon start sliding back down the ladder, back to the lower rungs. And that's what we commonly find. Boys who came in with 90% in the common entrance, the first exam, they get in 62 and 60%. You wonder, are these the same students?
Yeah.
But you see, they do not have the same drive, the same parental influence behind them to push them anymore. Parents, they figure, well, they've done the bit. The boys in the college, let the college do the rest. But it is not the college doing it in the first place.
Correct.
It is the parents who are pushing the students along.
Correct.
So although we do our best, they have to help us.
So much you
we
can
can
do.
only do so much.
Yeah.
What we do, and it helps significantly, is to inculcate into these boys the pride and the sense of reality of knowing that the kind of school they're in. And the people that came to the school, people like yourself, we call your names.
Right.
All of our Nobel laureates, all these people,
Right.
we call their names. Let them know that the benches they're sitting on are the same spots that these outstanding people sat on 20 and 40 and 50 years ago.
Correct.
So they can do it too. I mean, instill into them this self-belief that they can do it. But sometimes that's not enough. No matter how much self-belief you have, you still have to study.
I know.
You still have to do your work.
You know, Rowan, you're so correct, because I distinctly remember Brother Canis, saying repeatedly to us, you're only going to get out of life what you put into it.
Absolutely
And what
correct.
the brothers taught me was discipline, you know. I'll tell you something, most of my success, if I may want to say so, has been from discipline. I leave nothing to chance. In business, I check and double check. You know, sometimes, I try to tell my staff, look, I don't think I'm bothering you, but it has to be done correctly.
Absolutely.
There's only one way. It's the correct way to do it, And
that's the same thing, that the same rules should apply to students.
And you
in
also
Form 1.
mentioned something else which was quite interesting. I want to pass another message to the public in St. Lucia. Listening to Mr. Seon a while ago, what did he say? That at the secondary schools, you have the teachers there who must identify and take a keener interest in the students to let them know very clearly that the subjects they're following, they need to focus more on it, because when it's not done at that level, the first 4 years, when a child gets to the college at 11 years of age, between
11, 15.
They go to elementary school. At what age you would say?
They come in at 11, and they go to Southwest.
I'm talking of the
primary school.
The primary school.
Oh yeah, they're going typically about 5, 6 around there.
And they leave about 10.
But when they leave at 10, 11, yes.
That from 5 years to 10 these are the formative years of children. So I know that you all can only do so much. I know the government funds are limited for the schools, but the teachers need to focus and try to help the children. And wherever they can't help them academically, they should try to encourage them and tell them how important it is to remain focused on what subject that they're taking so they can pass it on, because that's what makes them what they are.
Yeah, and for some reason girls seem to have
that discipline,
inherent discipline that boys don't have. Something.
Well, what?
I guess it's the nature of the human animal that the
But they were not like that in my time.
Because they were being suppressed. They were being discouraged from doing these kinds of important things.
Okay.
You know, the girls who've been told their places in their home, go and make babies, go and keep yourself pretty and get a good husband, and that's all you're worth. That's what girls have been taught long ago. Now that none of this nonsense. They're showing what they can do now, and all of a sudden now we talk about men being marginalized. Men are marginalizing themselves.
That's right,
Because the girls are just doing what they can do. And if we're going to sit back and think we're going to make progress just because we are men, no longer is it the case. It was so. Long ago, I'm sure in the old days, Mr. Chasney, you wouldn't dream of employing a lady for a certain job. It had to be a man. Now you probably
I only have ladies.
Exactly. That's the
and
point.
They are excellent.
That's the point, because they're the ones who are working harder. The guys figure, oh, I must get a job. I'm a man. I must get a job. That's not true anymore. So, like I said earlier, luckily we have some boys who still want to work hard. Most of them end up at St. Mary's. So we have an environment there that encourages
now, do you have
excellence.
ladies teaching at the...
Yes, we have. No, thank God for them.
How many you have?
Oh, we have about 45 45 teachers. We have, I'd say, about 28 females. Yes. Wow. We like to have 17 men, mind you. Because if you look at the national level, 95% of the teachers in St. Lucia are female, you know.
Wow.
There are primary schools that haven't had in its history, never had a male teacher. I mean, and that's just the way it is. So the boys end up having girls at a mother in the house, no father often. Female teachers in primary school. Sometimes they go to a secondary school and there's another set of female teachers. So all these are reasons why the boys don't know what they're supposed to do. Because all they're seeing is women around them doing well and the fellas smoking marijuana down by the roadside.
You know, something I've noticed over the years, the students that have done very well, whose parents are teachers.
Very often.
It is amazing.
That's correct, nowadays.
I distinctly, you know, the last person I talked to was Mistress Anne King, who passed away.
Yes.
She was a teacher, and I remember her telling me once, you know, that at that time I was doing my GC, whatever it is, and she would say, you know, I always tell my children, when you have about 5, if you have to write an essay, do not touch that one, because you know nothing about it. Write what you know about, you know.
Teachers would give common sense advice to the children,
which is wonderful.
Which probably.
And look at that. Most of them
very often,
have gone. They won Island scholarships.
Not every case, but very often, a lot of the top performing students are students of teachers. That's still very common.
I take my brother. He has 3 children. His wife was a teacher at the convent here, Miss Grola, and you wouldn't believe this thing. His first daughter has a PhD. She was what you call woman of the year in Long Island. She works for the IRS. The second daughter is some criminologist.
There you go.
And then the third guy is a surgeon, a top surgeon who went to MIT and all that. He got 4 scholarships. All from a teacher. And I remember that once she was here on holiday at Christmas, and the bell rang at 12 o'clock. He said, time to study on Christmas Day.
Oh my goodness!
So you know, it's amazing.
But that's sort of what the word is ready. It's not so much being a teacher, but it's discipline. You know, it's the discipline instilled by somebody who's used to the educational system who can do it. There are many persons who may not be teachers, but because they too come from a disciplined environment, can have the structure in the home for the children to do well. And that's where it actually boils down. Having an ordered sort of environment. The children can play and so, but they must be organized. They can't be playing all day and running around all day.
Now, one question for you, Rowan, about because despite all the progress you have made academically, there's still
at the school.
At school, there are still children, I'm sure, who would want to head to the vocational side of things. Where would they go for such to do? For instance, a guy wants to be a carpenter, a mason, a plumber, or something like that.
Well, okay, we have we don't have programs directly for them at the school. We believe that there are schools where students who may not be immediately interested in our program can go into. However, we still hold that we can produce master craftsmen from our school too.
Okay.
Because even the building and the...
you need the basics.
There's physics.
That's right.
There's maths.
Correct.
You have to be able to get your angles and your right line straight.
That's
so we
right.
tell them, get your maths straight, get your maths in place, get your physics organized,
Yeah.
and then you wouldn't just be a mason, you'd be a master mason.
Correct.
You'll be employing people to do your work for you.
That is right.
And that's what we tell them. So it isn't always boys leaving there going into further books. They can go into the world too, but at a level that allows them to operate far more scientifically than would be the average man on the street.
Because in Germany, for instance, let us say you go and study engineering, you do not get that your diploma until you do 2 years of practical.
There you go. There you go. Yes,
Yeah.
and there are many other places like that. And so the foundation, the school offers a foundation for many things, not just the theoretical higher level studies. They're the practical studies that still have a foundation in reasoning and maths and science and all of these things.
Let's get back to the question of sports.
Yeah.
What areas do you think, because of the boys leaving school, would you suggest that they should pursue? Because sports, it's good. I know you play basketball.
We play basketball, football, cricket, tennis, both kinds of tennis, table and we are swimming. You know, right now, I mean, I don't want to be too boastful, but we have the best. Swimmers, you are the best tennis players, you are the best volleyballers, we have the best junior basketballers in the island. While we have the best academics at the same time.
That's great, eh?
Yeah, that's
so
what we have.
You're producing an all-rounded student.
That's what we try to. We focus, we try to give them time to do everything. But you know, in all fairness, we don't have the numbers as we used to have playing sports. A lot of the boys now are doing extra subjects. And when you do 12, 13, 14 subjects, you don't have that much time to go and play.
But tell me something, why is it necessary to do that many subjects?
But they want to do it.
Why?
Because they can.
Oh.
Because they can.
But I mean, the people who have done it, what have they achieved, right?
They have achieved the satisfaction of knowing that they've done 15 subjects. I mean, that in itself is an achievement.
It is marvelous.
I will never stop a boy who wants to do 20 subjects because he wants to do 20 subjects. How many people can do 20 subjects? 1 out of 1,000. We haven't had anybody in the history of the school who ever did 20 subjects. So if one boy comes and tells me, sir, I want to do 20 subjects, I tell him no. What? I'll tell him, I try my best to help him. And that's what we do. Because that in itself is an achievement. I mean, life has achievements at different levels. Later on, you may go on to do law and be an excellent lawyer. You wouldn't need all 20 subjects for law, but you need 20 subjects to get the
well-spread education.
And also to get the motivation to know that he's an unusual student who can take on anything after that. And the excellence is excellence. And I mean, you won't tell an eagle, you're not supposed to fly so high, fly with the pigeons down there. Let the eagle fly.
You just said something which resonated with me, you know. I was born in Castries. I was raised by the Castries River. I never left there till 18. I was there. And then, you know, I went further afield and I went into the shipping business. And, you know, I never forget that one day when I finally reached New York, I was in my late 30s, and I was taken by one of the biggest brokerage firms on Wall Street, 52 Broadway, where I spent 11 years. I think that's okay. And, you know, one day the head man said to me, why he brought me, and he said, look, I'll teach you how to be a broker, and if you could teach us how to buy a ship and to run a ship. Now, there's a guy who was born in Germany where they build ships, and he's asking me, who's a little boy from Castries.
By the river.
Okay. I'm sitting over there today, and I remember sitting in the window and asking myself, how is that possible? And I started to analyze myself and analyze life and say, you know, everybody is born with a certain amount of strength. And you know, some of us never find our strength, okay? And you know, when you look at it today, that because of who I was or what I was blessed with,
and maybe your parents who supported
the parents supported me, the brothers supported me, they gave you that discipline that I was able to go to places like be in the heart of Manhattan, okay? And see all this going on with me, you know. I mean, these people they were members of the world of on the 23rd restaurant floor of the World Trade Center. 3 times a week we'd go there for lunch, you know. And I'm saying to myself, I'm in the company of those people who appreciated me. I made so many trips to Europe with them. And you know, it was so amazing to see that, you know. So the question I was asking about what happens to and I just say a lot of those guys, look at, for instance, my sister was ill some time ago and she went to a specialist in Boston. It was Dr. Niles, who's a top specialist at at one of the big
and,
hospitals.
And that's from an ex-college boy.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's amazing.
But they're all over the world. They're all over the world. All over the world they have college boys. And a lot of them, they take them, the little, you know, the motto of the school, the top is reached by striving.
By striving,
yes. Someone take a Nintendo.
Correct, I meant that.
And that's what it's about. That's what I recently spoke to a group of students at the primary school, and I left that with them, the school motto, because that is
the top is reached by striving.
That's the difference between the college
amazing,
and the other
such
school.
simple words.
Simple words. And you're not doing well at the college because you are the college, but because you work harder.
Correct.
That's what makes you do better.
St. Lucia, unfortunately, we have reached the end of our program. This is the fourth and final segment. So just before we part, I'll just ask Mr. Seon whether you could just give a couple words to wrap up.
Yes, well, that's a good note on which to end. I think that is the school motto that I think can be applied to many the areas of St. Lucia. Our motto is Sumum Attengator Nintendo. All Latin words because it's an old school. Simply means the top is reached by striving. And the top applies to anything, not just academically, in sports, in whatever little job you may have to do. You work a little harder than the average person and you find you're going to reach a little further. When people see you making strange success and they think you're doing obia, all it is you're working a little harder. You study a little longer at nights. You do a little more research. You make yourself a little more prepared than the average person. And you will be surprised when the time comes for promotion, the time comes for making a step ahead, you're the one who's going to make that step. That's the motto for success in life. Mr. Shastri just said it himself. His hard work, he didn't have any special start in life, very humble person. Look where he is now.
You know, it's so funny, some years ago, I watched 60 Minutes, and there was this colored guy, I forgot his name, on 60 Minutes, and he came to St. Lucia, and one of the Hackshaw boys met him, and said to him, you know, how can a colored man like you remain at 60 Minutes? He says, a bit of education, some luck and hard work. But my luck became better the harder I worked. St. Lucia, this is Open Mic. I want to thank you so much for listening. We'll be back next Sunday. Thank you.
Thank you very much.